Good afternoon. My name is Jared Lane, and this is Conrad's Catering. Conrad's Catering is a full-service catering company focused on the needs of the small business and corporate community in Omaha, Nebraska. This means while there are private needs and private customers, we will focus on the corporate and small business needs. Conrad's Catering's missions is to provide all of the customers' catering needs with outstanding food quality and service at a reasonable cost. Little summary of our industry. The food service industry is predicted to grow 6% over the period of time from 2013 to 2017. This is the food service industry as a whole. The predicted national revenue for the catering industry is just above $7 billion. The target market summary. Conrad's Catering is a business-to-business concept focused on the following industries: the banking industry, the insurance industry, the real estate industry, and the legal service industry. This is lawyers and accountants and types like that. A little bit about our competition. While there are a lot of caterers, a lot of companies that do catering on the side, like grocery stores, there are four main catering companies in Omaha, Nebraska: Catering Creations, Brandeis Catering, Attitude on Food, and Hap Abraham. A little bit about the business. I am Jared Lane. I am the owner, the sole member of the LLC that will be formed next year. A little bit about our services. We'll do anything from breakfast, lunch, dinner, food services. We'll set up a bar for an event. We'll do venue preparation. We'll do location preparation. Anything that needs to be, locations need to be found, things need to be arranged. We'll help with that. We have a lot of goals. We want to grow a lot, and then within 2 years, we want to look at finding a permanent location that will combine our kitchen with our storage facility. As in the beginning, we will use rental space as needed. Within 5 years, we want to expand from business to business only into private events like weddings, graduations, things like that. Within 10 years of operations, we'd like to begin seeking out contracts with venues to be proprietary caterers. And we'd also like to look into beginning to search for our own venues that we own as the company. Economic trends in the industry. The very core of catering is dependent on the economy. So whatever the economy does, we do. However, people will always have celebrations and parties, and people are always going to get married. Companies are always going to have employee appreciation events and things like that. The size and scale will, however, change depending on how bad the economy is, how good the economy is, how much extra money there is, and stuff like that. One of the big trends in the food service industry right now is local and organic foods. Local is huge. There's a new term, locavores, people that will only eat local foods. And while that is mainly in the restaurant industry right now, it will flow into catering within the next couple years. In the beginning, our employment needs are very low. I, as the owner and operator, will do most of the work, day-to-day work in the first couple of years. There will, however, be one other full-time cook and one part-time employee who is on call as needs dictate. In the future, I would like to see an operations manager, a couple more full-time cooks, as well as a few more part-time on-call employees. Anything that is needed for big events, one-day things, we'll go through a temporary employment agency to get what we need to meet the needs of the customer. We won't turn anybody away. Operations, the key right now is flexibility in our operations. In the beginning, we don't have a physical location for the kitchen, so all of our kitchen space is shared use, rented by the hour kitchen space or by the day. So that gives us a lot of flexibility in operations and location and where we cook, because there's a couple of different shared use kitchens in the area, so we can be real near to just about any venue. And it also gives us flexibility in employment. We don't have to have enough business to pay employees to be there constantly. So we can just employ as we need. And the equipment is flexible as well. Most of our stuff will be stored in a low-cost storage facility in Omaha. that allows us to get what we need and to only take what we need. We don't have to pay to store it at one of the shared use facilities. It's in a very low cost storage facility. There are a lot of suppliers in the area. There's the big ones: Cisco, U.S. Foods. Lafredo's is a big regional produce supplier. However, we'll work very closely with Sam's Club, as they are a low cost, very convenient option. And as well, we will work with local farmers for some of our smaller events, some of our events where local foods is very important. Our market is rather large, but not insurmountable. Geographically, we're a 30-minute drive radius from the cross streets of 90th and Maple in Omaha. We are a business-to-business concept, so that defines our target market a little bit. There are between 12 and 15,000 businesses in that geographic area that fall into the categories that will be targeted. We will focus, as I said earlier, on 4 types of businesses in the Omaha area. The baking industry. Right now, the banking industry is not largely tapped by the caterers that exist. Larger companies like Hy-Vee that do caterings do not seek out these opportunities. Insurance industry as well is much the same as the banking industry. There's a lot of meetings, a lot of breakfast meetings, a lot of employee appreciation things going on that a lot of people just don't tap, and we're going to try to tap that. The real estate industry, there's a lot of open houses, there's a lot of meetings, there's a lot of things like that. There's a lot of opportunities there to reach out to that industry. And legal services, lawyers and such, there's a lot of opportunity there. There's always going to be meetings between lawyers, there's always going to be meetings at the courthouses, there's always going to be events between lawyers that need to be catered, appreciation events, a lot of things put on by outside organizations that need to be catered, and I think there's a lot of opportunity there to reach that. Our marketing plan is very simple. We're not going to spend a lot of money, but we are going to spend a lot of effort on marketing. I really want to create a brand. I think brand is extraordinarily important for success in any industry, but specifically in this industry where in a lot of ways people's lives are on the line when they eat your food. And I think even unconsciously people realize that. So they want to know, they want to be able to trust where their food is coming from. And it's only getting more and more important to people as the day goes on, as times go. So I really want to create a brand that can be trusted. The first step is creating an image, a logo. Right now we have a working logo, but we're seeking a professionally designed logo within the next couple months to really begin creating that brand. There are 5 cornerstones to all of our marketing, however. Service is number 1. We want to be known for having the highest level of customer service in the industry. Anything the customer needs, we want to reach it. We want to reach as far as we can to meet their needs and create camaraderie between them and us. Next is sales. Without sales, there is obviously no business. Everything from cold calls to visits. We'll visit office buildings. We'll take tastes. We'll take some cookies. We'll take some deli sandwiches. Whatever delicious things we can take to try to attract sales. And then the contact center. Every time a potential customer has contact with any part of the business, there's an opportunity to gain that person or lose them forever. So I myself is the main contact point. Any of my employees that are representing us at an event, anybody is a potential contact center. And everybody will be trained well in how to control contact with customers and how to represent the company. Analytics is very important to us, asking customers for feedback. This will allow the business to grow in our excellence of the product and our excellence of customer service. We have to know what the customer wants, how they felt about their service, how they felt about their product, about their event. If we don't know the customer, then we don't know how to meet their needs next time. Community involvement is very important to Conrad's Catering. We believe that a productive, responsible business is good for the entire community. Business is what makes the world go round. It's what built America. Competition can help a local community and economy thrive. Multiple options for the customer improves quality and overall execution of the product. Conrad's Catering is committed to building an environmentally friendly and community friendly business model. We don't want to exist purely for profit. We want to touch people's lives, and to do that outside of regular sales and regular daily operations is very important to us. However, all of these must reflect, and everything we do must reflect, that in reality, the primary focus of the company is to build a viable and healthy business. Without being viable and healthy and having a steady income and steady sales, we can be no help to the community as a whole because we won't exist. And everything that the company is involved with must reflect or support these core values or cornerstones of Conrad's Catering. This is what we believe, and this is what everybody that works for us must buy into. This is how we will define ourselves. Integrity, respect, passion, loyalty, and faith. These are the 5 things that I want our business to reflect daily in everything we do. They're the cornerstones, I think, of treating people, of how we do our work. We must do everything with integrity. We must respect the customer with our food. We must have a passion for what we're doing. If there is no passion, there's no reason to do it. We must be loyal to our customer. We don't sell contact information. We don't do anything goofy. We're loyal to our customers, and we want their loyalty. And faith is what defines how we approach life as a whole. That faith is what all of the rest of these flow from. A little bit about our competition. I mentioned that there's Conrad's Catering, Hap Abraham, Brandeis Catering, and Attitude on Food. These are all the 4 of the main caterers in Omaha. They don't own the market between the 4 of them, but between the 4 of them, there's not much left. Right now, Catering Creations, best estimates have them at about 20% of the market in Omaha. They are obviously a market leader. They've been around for 5 to 6 years now. And in 4 years of that, their market share has consistently increased. They're growing. They're moving into a new location, a new kitchen and facility. They're going to own a venue for events, in-house events. They're growing, and they're growing fast. Hap Abraham owns over 30% of the current market in Omaha. They are the market leader, not just a market leader. They are the leader. They've been around for 40 years, and they've done nothing but grow in that time. I guess you could call them a market definer. They began the trend in Omaha of owning venues. They own 5 venues now, and they're looking at buying a couple more within the next year. So they're growing, and they're growing fast. They've been around, and they show no signs of slowing down anytime soon. Brandeis Catering, however, is a different story. They've been around for about 50 years, and over the past 10, their market share has consistently decreased. Their product has lost quality. Their service has lost quality. They've lost confidence in the market. The consumer is not as confident in their service and product as they once were. So if they don't turn around, they don't get their act together, they're not going to remain a market challenger long. And then the last one is Attitude on Food. They're relatively new in the market. They've been around a few years. They are a follower. They don't have much of the market right now with just 8%. But they're growing as well. They're not yet a challenger, but they are close. They're growing fast. They focus on private caterings with a little bit of focus on corporate and business, but not much. Mostly private. All of these businesses provide challenges for us, for Conrad's Catering, to jump over and to deal with. However, in the beginning, there's enough of a market left for the business industry that Conrad's Catering will have a niche in the beginning. Our monthly sales projections for the first year are they're not huge. They're not overly optimistic. We tried to remain very realistic about what we could logistically put together and what would actually come our way. Um, so we really tried to put together something that looked nice. Overall, we're looking at five or four different areas of sales. We've broken down all events into four areas: dinner, banquets, weddings. We did include a couple of weddings a month because we've already been asked to do some over the past couple of months before we're even a business. So we left some in there for that. In-house events and off-premises events. Um, which in-house would be like at the business, off-premises would be something that they've gone and gotten another venue for. So we're looking at, for the first few months, we're looking at a total of 22 events a month, and then we're up in just a little bit every month after that until we reach our capacity as of what we can put out logistically as using shared use kitchens. So there is some growing that will have to happen before we can reach that next level. But right now we're looking at 22 events a month, which is roughly one a business day or maybe a couple a day. So it's pretty realistic and pretty possible. Overall, our projected yearly income statement is, I just used the year one, pretty simple. Gross sales in the first year is just over $330,000. Returns just under 12, which leaves us a net of $319,000. With our cost of goods sold at just over $115,000, leaving us a gross profit of just over $200,000. Our general expenses, our rent, our employee wages, and things like that bring us up to expenses of $162,000. Providing for taxes, set aside money, giving us a net profit of just over $30,000 in year one, which is not terribly optimistic. As I said earlier, we're not overreaching what we can actually sell, what we can actually produce. So it's pretty realistic options there. Our year one cash flow statement is pretty simple as well. We don't have huge amounts of expenses. We don't have a lot of little things sitting out there waiting to happen. We've kept it very simple in the beginning to allow the company room to grow. So we have a net cash flow in year one of just under $50,000 with an ending cash balance of just over $60,000. We have no financing. All of the upfront costs of the business are coming from savings and from gifts from family. So we're not seeking any extra financing right now. As we try to grow within the first couple of years, that will be reassessed and will perhaps happen. Our balance sheet for quarter one is just as simple as everything else. Our cash on hand at the beginning and our cash on hand towards the end, with our total liabilities and net worth of the company being just over $26,000 at the end of quarter one. Just a very simple, straightforward balance sheet. And there's quarter two with a total liabilities and net worth ending at just over $36,000. It's very simple stuff. We've worked really hard to keep the concept simple and keep the execution simple to allow us to focus on the customer in the beginning and to grow into everything else. I'm Jared Lane. You've met me. This is my contact information. A little bit about me. I do have 6 years of experience in the industry. A couple of years as a kitchen supervisor, a couple of years as a catering cook, a couple of years as a dishwasher, a busboy, a server, a parking lot sweeper, a line cook, and whatever else you can think of. Education is I have 2 associate's degrees, one in culinary arts and management, and 1 associate's degree in hospitality management and entrepreneurship. This is Conrad's Catering. I'm Jared Lane. One last quote to end on as we end the business plan presentation is: a good plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow. That's from General Patton. You have to start somewhere. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.